Hey, what's up guys? So just a random live stream. I got lazy, well actually busy mostly too, but got busy and wasn't able to record a Thursday video like I normally do of explaining something. So I am here to do a live stream instead, just an extra one. Still have my probably Saturday or Sunday, I don't know, one of the days, regular Chaos Live, but this is an extra random one for anybody who wants to kind of jump in on a Thursday night to hang out with me and chat for a little while to kind of make up for, I'm sorry, I didn't upload a Thursday video today. Sorry about that. Next Thursday, we'll be back at it. This is really busy over the weekend, so usually like over the weekends I get a chance to kind of record all these videos and get them all ready. But this weekend I was super busy, so I didn't really have a chance to be able to do that. So yeah. So what's happening? We got some Walter people in here, some David people, some Steven Dragon. We got Patrick. We got something Jacob, wasn't it? I always forget. Like I remember you said what is your name, but I'm horrible at names. Otherwise, because I can't pronounce your dang screen name. We got Jerk, we got Avenged, we got Will, we got Tanner, we got Southern Sun. Long time no see, man. How are things? So what's happening? We'll go through. We'll do some Q&A stuff, hang out. Talk about some topics that maybe you're interested in, hang out for a little while, and then cut it off. And then I might still do even a Friday night gaming live stream. I kind of like doing that on Friday nights. I don't know if that'll always be a thing, but it was fun last Friday night. So we might do another Friday night live stream of like some video game action. So what do we got? We got Chris. What is the metal song you always use for your intros for your videos? So common question I get asked a lot. I don't know the name of the song. I don't know who it's by. There is a service that I use called Epidemic Sounds. I pay for to use really, really good music that they have to be able to use for YouTube. And that happens to be one of the tunes that I have gotten from there. All the music that I use in all my videos, whether it be the Road to Baton, my little intros for any other videos, the background music for any of the other videos that I have, all of that comes from that website. They have amazing songs, but it is a paid for service you have to pay for to be able to utilize. But yeah, that's where that intro song comes from. Yeah, random chaos. So I'm talking about, Will. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah, Tanner. Hell yeah. You can tell we hit the bell. Yes, I can always tell who you awesome people are that have notifications on, as I like to call the notification platoon. Everybody uses notification squad, but we're military, related content here. So I feel like you got to keep it more military. Everybody else, even though they're not military, call themselves notification squad, but you guys have to up it a little bit. So you guys are notification platoon. So that's what I'm talking about here. Was just in your neck of the woods 2 days ago. Oh. If it wasn't for work, I would have tried to meet up with you to do a vlog or something. That would have been cool, Southern Sun. What a bummer you couldn't hit me up, but I understand. Sometimes work things go crazy. We should change the national anthem to the Team America theme. That's pretty awesome. I always thought it'd be really cool to have that song playing during a welcome home ceremony. So like when soldiers come back from like deployments, they usually have like a welcome home ceremony that you go through. It's horrible. I should do a video on this. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's fun. But you go and you fly in, and then you go and from there you usually have to go somewhere to turn in weapons, and then they put you on a bus again to take you over to like this gym or a special event center or somewhere you got to go. You stand out in formation, and all your family usually knows like the day before. You usually get notified not very much in advance. It's usually like a day or 2 or 3 days in advance, and then you go and they pack into this place wherever it's at or wherever they make their little welcome home signs and all that stuff. And then they open up the doors and send you through, and they usually have smoke machines going off and some kind of patriotic song going on. And I always thought it would be so awesome if they would play that Team America song when we did when we came through the doors. I always wanted to like re-edit one together, like a video, and I never did get a chance to really do it. I could probably still easily do it, but I always thought that'd be hilarious. And then you stand there in formation, and they eventually let you get released, and you'd all see all your family, and occasionally have little kids that come running up because they don't want to wait for the formation to be over and stuff like that. And then the dad or the mom has to tell them to go sit back down or whatever. It's kind of funny, but yeah. Wait, there's more than one Walter? No, I think there's just you, isn't there? I don't see any more Walters. I love the videos, Chaos. Well, thank you. What is it, Lady Jacket Kristen? It's all mashed together. We'll call you Kristen. So, Hold on, I'm going to change my name if I can. You don't have to. I mean, it is, I don't know. Is it Keith God? I don't know. I don't know. But then let me see. Did you already change it? I don't know. It's not a big deal. Cold weather and snow ruins public transportation commute. Yeah, that sucks. There's some crazy weather going on. It's crazy. Brian, oh, you're asking somebody else. How long do you need to be in the Army to get to first sergeant? It takes a little while. I mean, if you're fast at it, you could probably do it in maybe like 10, 11, 12 years or something like that. Because it's not easy to get to that rank. First sergeant is a little tough because like you can work really hard to get to, you know, sergeant and then to staff sergeant. But then past staff sergeant, it kind of depends on a lot of different factors. So I don't know, maybe 10 years if you're really high speed at it, but that would probably still be pretty fast to be only in the Army for 10 years and make it to first sergeant. So I don't know. You know, a lot of people that are first sergeants are usually older people, so they usually have been in the Army for at least like 15 years probably before they make it to first sergeant, 16, 17 years. So I plan on staying in the Guard. I want to return to college. Well, good luck to you, Brian. Hopefully that works out well for you. My father was a Vietnam veteran, passed away in 2002. Sorry to hear about that. What do you have for people who are VN vet descendants? All my content is pretty much like current stuff, so you probably won't have much as far as the like old school era stuff. So sorry about that. We got a super chat, of course. It's Edward. Edward is in the chat in here. What's up, Edward? Thank you for the $1.99 donation. Please look at my comment. Well, I mean, I have, you know, no choice but to. I mean, it's gonna pop up right there. It's gonna pop up on the screen over there. I already did just now. And it makes the lights flash. So, of course, I saw it. But thank you, Edward. You're awesome. Thanks for the donation. Let's see. Charles is here. Man, he says he's here, so welcome, Charles. Do you own any firearms, Chris? If so, do you, or what do you have? I don't. I don't have any firearms. I don't. I'm not against the guns or anything like that. I just don't happen to own any. Because I don't really hunt or anything like that. I mean, you have it for self-protection, I guess, but don't own anything. A man been working to get in shape to join the Army at the age of 18 in 16, 17. We'll just keep at the grind and it'll all pay off in the end. But hey, Chris, rather be here than watching fake news. I agree, Southern Sun. Sometimes it can get crazy. Oh, man. Edward. Don't blow all your money, man. Thank you for the $4.99 donation. $5. We'll round it up to $5. Even though YouTube takes, what is it, like freaking 30% of your super chats? That's fine, though. What do we got, Edward? I spent 1G on strip clubs. Holy crap, man. 1.5G on nightclubs, restaurants, 600 to 700 on super chats. About $200, and $500 on miscellaneous, $600 on psychology. If you have the money to spend, cool. But if you don't have the money to be spending, you might want to dial back on some of those things. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're rich as hell, and I don't really know. I don't know. But if you, yeah, I mean, just make sure you're not taking away money that you could be using for better things. You know, like food, something like that. I don't know. But thank you. Thank you for the $4.99, man. Is it hard for medical discharges to go back into training? It depends on the severity of it. Usually you'll get like some kind of code that'll kind of tell you if you're eligible to come back in the Army or not come back in the Army and all that kind of stuff. And it depends on what the injury would be, I guess. Certain ones obviously are not going to allow you to come back in the Army, but there are still some that could allow you to come back in the Army. Hey, Chris, thank you for your videos. Definitely helped me. I am 27 going to the Guard, and thanks for the information you give us in your videos. You're awesome. Well, thank you, man. Thanks for watching, Brian, and coming here for this random Chaos Live little live stream to hang out and watching all my other videos. I do have to say that your videos are very educational, and I always end up learning something from them. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you. That's always the goal, is to help anybody who's interested in the military, whether it's because they want to join the military or they're just curious about it, to, learn more about either, what they could be getting themselves into if they are interested in the military, or just what soldiers go through because maybe they're curious about it. And that's always kind of my goal. Some people might say something, oh, you're just going to train people to steal valor and stuff like that. But you can't look at it that way. A lot of this information, I'd say 99% of the information that I'm giving out is public knowledge. You could find it on the internet, so anybody, if they want to use it for the wrong thing, they could do it other ways as well. You can't think of it as like, if you teach someone how to drive, they could use it for, running people over, hopefully use it for good. And that's what my intention is hopefully use it for good. We got Edward. Well, then there's Super Chat. Blowing all that money again, man. Edward, thanks for the $2 donation. I spent a lot around my 21st. Still have PTSD. Well, that part sucks. I don't know when your 21st birthday was, but happy belated birthday if it was sometime recently. So, but I get it. Let's see. I got a good one, Mr. Chaos. What are your thoughts on our troops getting, was it pulled? Probably you prefer the P, but it's cool. Pulled from Afghanistan and Syria. It's like, I don't really know. I don't think I probably have really much of an opinion on it because I'm not too super up to date on like everything that's going on over there. But at some point in time, you help them out, and they have to take responsibility, take control of their own country, because we're not there to take over their country. We're there to help them and support them, and try to give them aid and training and advisement and all that kind of stuff. But at some point in time, you have to draw back and let them hopefully take everything they've learned from us, the maybe equipment maybe we've given them or whatever, and do their thing. So that's the way you got to kind of look at it. But I don't know what the current situation is, if it's too soon or if it's the right time, or maybe it's too late. Maybe we've been there for too long. I don't know. So I don't keep up to date too much on it. Why does the Army kick you out if you don't pass PT? It's going to take several times, usually several attempts, before they're going to move to that phase of kicking you out. But that's part of the requirement of being in the Army, is you have to be physically fit. And if you are not physically fit, then you don't need to be in the Army. So that's kind of the main thing with it. That's why, like in one of the other videos, I also talked about how technically it's harder to get into the military than it is to get into college. You don't have any kind of physical fitness requirements to get into college. You do have physical fitness requirements to be in the military. So if you can't meet those physical fitness requirements, it doesn't matter what your job is. You got to meet those requirements. So that's pretty much how it ends up going. But yeah, usually it takes, I've seen some soldiers get like a lot of chances to pass the physical fitness test, and they still don't escalate it that far because people don't want to do the paperwork and everything else. But then there's certain other leaderships that are really strict on it, and maybe after 3-4 attempts, then they got to boot them out. So that just kind of depends. Edward again? Holy crap, man! Take it easy now. Edward with a super chat, $4.99. One thing I've been hearing from a few campaigns for governor campaigns is granting full BAH pay to single E1s in the National Guard. Your thoughts? It would be kind of weird if it was National Guard, because they're not full time unless you're active National Guard. Which, if you're not active National Guard, then maybe, I guess it depends on the thing. But soldiers at E1 most commonly are pretty young. You have to educate them a little bit better to make sure they're not misusing BAH. I don't think I have anything really against it, but you gotta, I guess, use it wisely and make sure people are educated. Sometimes they're just fresh out of high school. So we got another super chat, $1.37. It's a weird random number. But thank you, Tanner. Thank you for the random $1.37 donation. I appreciate it, though. Thanks. What was it? There was something I thought I saw. We'll go backwards a little bit on some of these comments and some of these questions. Let's see. What military car would you have for yourself if given a choice to keep, hypothetically? Oh, definitely the new MATV. The MATV is badass. That truck is awesome. If you've never seen that thing, let me show you. The Mat V. M-A-T. Let me show you what this thing looks like. Let's find a good picture here. Here we go. This guy. This guy is awesome. So this is what I would choose. The Mat V is awesome. So that would be my choice. My choice would be the Mat V. What would your choice be? Is weight training recommended before basic training? No, I wouldn't say necessarily. I mean, as long as you can do push-ups, like cardio is really a big thing, but you do want to have a little bit of upper body strength to be able to do push-ups, abdominal strength for doing sit-ups. Eventually, they're going to be changing that PT test, here probably in a couple of years from now still. 2020 probably, maybe not by next year. It's probably going to be fully implemented. But, yeah, I mean, cardio is really a big thing. Weight training, sure, it helps you get in fit still, but sometimes that doesn't necessarily help you run better and all that other stuff. Sabrina, what's happening? What does moral waiver prevent you from doing when it comes to school and the Army? I don't really know much about moral waivers, so I really can't help you on that. Sorry. Hey, Chris, Red Bull or Rockstar? Come on, Walter. Have you not seen some of my Instagram pictures or some of my other videos? Of course, it's Rockstar. Rockstar all the freaking way, man. I got I don't have it accessible. I have a Rockstar lamp over there. I've got Rockstar sticker on the back of my car. I've got a lot of other Rockstar stuff probably, and I drink Rockstar. I'm trying to mill out a little bit on it since I'm working out for this Road to Baton thing, but yeah. And speaking of which, hey Chris, how was the road march? Which one? I did one today. I did one yesterday. I did one on Sunday, and I got another one tomorrow, and then one on Saturday probably. So, but it's good. Hey Chris, how do I sign up for the road march? The one that I'm doing, the Road to Baton. You just gotta look it up online. They have a website called the Road to not the road. That's what I'm calling it. But they have a it's called the Baton Memorial Death March, and it takes place in New Mexico. And there's a website they have for registration and all that stuff. Super chat again from Edward, or who we got? Yep, Edward. Of course, it's Edward. Thanks, Edward. Thank you. Green Party presidential candidate suggesting full BAH to all single service members like the Air Force. I've been following this issue. Yeah, I don't keep up with politics, man. Politics is definitely not the place to come to the Christopher Chaos channel for. I'm not your ideal political person. I do not pay attention to any of that stuff. But as far as if they're gonna give soldiers BAH, I mean, as long as they have a good reason for it, but I don't know. It depends on what their reason behind it is of why they feel like they need it. Otherwise, I feel like barracks are just fine, especially some of the newer barracks. A lot of the newer barracks are great. Will you go to VidCon? Probably. I mean, that'd be fun to go to. I don't have it really a purpose at VidCon, other than as a just for the fun of it all. But usually VidCon's pretty expensive. But it'd be fun to one day just go to a VidCon and check it out. But I've never been to one. I don't have any really upcoming plans to go to one. But if there was a way to possibly go without being a massive headache, sure, I would definitely go. Might leave your stream soon. I don't want to spend much more money. Yeah, a few grand will. Unless you're rich, don't be spending that kind of money. My dream is to graduate, join the Army, and hopefully I can become an Army Ranger. Well, good luck to you. Just takes a lot of work, especially going to RASP for Ranger selection. You just got to be really fit, really mentally tough to be able to, take the craziness. Another super chat? I don't even see it on my thing. Where's my lights just messing up? Oh, there it is. It's Edward. Of course it's Edward. Will 18-year-old E1s spend BH responsibly? I don't know. It just depends, I guess, on how the person is raised, how educated they are on stuff, because, when I was 18, I probably would have blown it on some apartment that, I didn't need that much stuff for, or it was bigger than I needed, or whatever the case might have been, and I probably would have ended up blowing like all of my BH, or if not more, on an apartment, and not really knowing any better how to budget my finances, because I didn't really, you know, wasn't really that educated on that kind of stuff. So it just depends on education. If someone is educated enough to know how to manage, you know, their bills pretty well, then maybe it'd be okay. But if you're someone fresh out of high school that hasn't had any of that experience because your mom and dad always paid for everything for you or whatever, then you're probably it's probably a good chance that that person is going to, you know, spend that money not very well. So how cold is Colorado? It hasn't been actually too bad, Tanner. Today was in the like 30s or 40s or something like that, because I was able to still do my little workout outside and do my road march. And all week pretty much, except for Monday was cold though. Monday we got some snow and some winds and all that kind of craziness, and made the roads really crappy. A little like kind of like in the middle of the day for a little while, and then the sun came out and melted it all away. So we haven't been hitting those crazy temperatures like some of the other parts of the U.S. have been hitting, like the negative 20s and all that kind of craziness. Where's the march? It is in at White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. We ask you questions. Do you have questions for us? I probably do. I would say, okay, here you go. Here's a question for you guys. So YouTube has, oh man, we got another super chat. Okay, I'll get to 100, or was it 1,000 subs with no videos? I'll get to your super chat here in a second. Let me ask the question, since was it Dakota? Dakota asked if I have a question for you guys. So YouTube has this function where you have Messenger. YouTube has a YouTube Messenger. I think most people have access to having one. I'm not sure, but I know I have one, and I've never used it. Basically, is what you do is you can create like a group conversation, and I can send out a link, and people can join. Only on mobile though. You'd only be able to do it from a mobile device. Join that link, and you'd be able to get inside of like a group chat. Is that something you guys would somehow like to incorporate into this? Maybe occasionally I post on that community tab that sometimes pops up on your guys' main feed when I post, like, you know, those polls for 2 Minute Tuesday, or if I post a picture or whatever, it popped up in that same area wherever you're seeing that at. But there would be a link that you'd only be able to click on. It would only work anyways if you were doing it through the app, and you'd be able to jump inside of like a little chat area thing with however many people join it, and then I would be in there to be able to type and chat with people, and then eventually just delete it and it'd go away, and then start rooms. Is that something that maybe someone would be interested in? Answer in the chat. Okay, so 1,000 subs with no videos. Thank you for the $4.99 donation. Enlist next year. I either want to go 11 Bravo, option 40 with 5 quals, or just SEAL team. Will there be a big difference? Well, SEALs is Navy. 11 Bravo with option 40 is Army. So I mean, that's going to vary based on what branch of the military you want to be inside of. If you want to be in the Army, then 11 Bravo option 40 to go Ranger, or even going, you can do the 18 X-ray contract to try Special Forces. If you're trying to do something similar to the SEAL team, Special Forces would be the way you'd want to probably go if you want to stick with Army. If you don't care and you'd rather just be either a Ranger or a SEAL, then that's kind of really up to you. SEALs, I feel like, would be a lot harder than Ranger. I feel like probably Special Forces and SEALs are probably fairly equal-ish. I don't know though, because of from experience or anything like that, but I feel like from all the training I know about that they do, I feel like they'd be pretty equal. So I guess it really just depends on as far as the difference, it would be mainly the branch of the military. Do you want to do more high-speed stuff or just some high-speed stuff? Because like SEALs or Special Forces is going to do really high-speed stuff. Rangers are still going to do some, but not nearly the same like hardcore things that SEALs and Special Forces are doing. Edward, man, dropping the $1.99 donation. I'm so conflicted. You and JT live streaming now. Oh man, god dang you, JT. Why do you always have to interrupt and start live streaming when I'm live streaming? Man, we should like go raid now, because if I popped a link into JT's thing to tell him to stop live streaming because I'm live streaming, then you all would leave my live stream and have to go to that live stream. That wouldn't work out. We'll just stick with it here. I'll give him crap later. Okay, let's see. Okay, Chris, bye. I'll be here for the gaming night on Friday. See ya. Well, thanks, Raymond. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, that's the intention right now, is I'd like to maybe do a little gaming live stream, maybe Friday night, I think. I personally enjoy occasional community tab content. That's pretty cool. Thank you then, Andrew, for your opinion. Yeah, occasionally we'll drop some little stuff in there for like polls or whatever. I was trying to see if anybody else had any other answers to that little question that I had earlier. I don't see anything. 100% yeah. Oh, you guys are probably something else. I would. Okay, Owen responding to it, I think. JT streaming. Be right back. No, Forge and Steel. Can't leave. Why did you abandon? You abandoned us. Can't believe you. I was trying to see if I don't see any other really answers. So there you go. I asked the question. Nobody really answered though, but it's fine. It's cool. See, Owen says he wouldn't leave. Thank you, Owen. You're hardcore. The messenger system with YouTube seems legit if you want to test it out. Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun to test it out. It seems like the purpose of it is like to have conversations between friends and stuff like that, but that's just weird. I just text my friends or, you know, send them messages on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I don't know. So maybe I'll try it out here sometime soon, where I'll post like a link in the community tab, and if you're seeing it on mobile, you'll be able to click on it to join in on the chat, and maybe I'll do like a little chat, or we can do like a little group chat with everybody just talking. And I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out and see what it looks like and see what it does. Leaving for basic in 10 days. Holy crap! Good luck to you. Hopefully everything works out. Just be aware it most likely will suck. Some people love basic training and say they have a great time. A lot of people say it sucks, but you just got to understand that it's supposed to be that way. You're supposed to be tested to make sure that you can handle the pressure and all that kind of stuff, and then it does get better. I mean, basic sucks is the worst part, and then you get to your regular unit and it gets much better. I mean, you may get stuck with crappy leadership. That's any job, really. You might get, a job at Walmart and get stuck with some crappy supervisor. It's just the chances you take in life. But just know that, sometimes basic sucks, and then it does get better afterwards. So you get a lot more freedom. Did that movie work? I still haven't watched it, man. I've been super busy. I still have it sitting right here on my desk. It reminds me every single day to watch this DVD that Edward sent me, that Steven Edwards sent me. And I just haven't gotten around to it, but I will. It'll stay here on my desk to constantly remind me that I must watch this. I will watch it. I agree with the messenger idea. Cool. So yeah, I'll probably try it out then. We'll see how it kind of works out. Hey, Chris, do you know anything about 17 Charlies? Cyber operations specialist. I've enlisted as a 17 Charlie in my contract. Just wanted to know any info you have about it. No, like I'd say about half of the MOS Monday videos, I have to usually research because I don't know all of them. Even still with the ones I do know some stuff about, I still have to look up the other information. But 17 Charlie is not one that I just know information about on the top of my head. So, but who knows? Maybe one day it'll be MOS Monday. Probably, depending on when you're going off for basic training and all that stuff like that. It might not be before then, because I haven't really seen it pop up in the comments of one to be requested. So we will see. Hey, Chris, who is the Master General of the U.S. Army? A Master General? I think there's a Master General. I don't know what you're talking about. There's like a Chief of Staff of the Army and a lot of other kind of roles. I've never heard of the role of a Master General, though. Unless you're talking about the top general, and I don't know, it'd be that Chief of Staff guy. I don't know what his name is or anything. Kind of go back with an RE code 3 chapter 511 because I was at Fort Leonard Wood. I don't know the codes off my top of my head. I would imagine if you just do a quick Google search of that code, you can probably find stuff out. If not, you can always talk to a recruiter, but I don't know anything about that code off the top of my head. I would basically have to Google search it and look it up. Your message thing, 100% yes. Broham and JT fam are pogues, bro. Well, Thanks, Southern Sun, for sticking around and not jumping ship and heading over to JT's live stream. Damn you, JT. Damn you. Let's see. The cold is going to suck. I live in Cali, so I'm not used to cold weather. Oh, where are you going? To Fort Leonard Wood? Yeah. Fort Leonard Wood can be pretty cold in the wintertime. I did AIT in winter there, and that was pretty cold. But that was back in like 99, so I'm sure the winters are still sucky. But yeah, especially like if you're from Southern California, it'd be a big difference. Like I was from like, you know, more central California, closer to Northern California, near the Nevada border. So we still had, you know, really cold temperatures in the wintertime and then hot temperatures in the summertime because it's still deserty. So I still hate the cold though. Cold sucks. Let's see. Hey, Chris, I'm hungry and can't decide what sounds good. Chicken fried steak or chicken fried catfish with lemon and cocktail sauce. Walter. Well, if you're asking my opinion, I am not a big fish person. The only kind of, I guess fish sticks are okay. Shrimp, but that's not really fish. I mean, it's kind of shrimp, fish, but so I probably wouldn't recommend that. So I would say, I guess, chicken fried steak, I guess, because I'm not a catfish fan. But you don't want to go off my opinion because I am a very, very picky eater. So yeah. Hey Chris, the vehicle I would choose is the Striker vehicle, but your choice is second. Thanks for answering my question. No problem. The Striker is a pretty good vehicle too. I mean, those things are pretty badass too. But yeah, I mean, the Striker's a little bit roomier. There'd be a little bit more room than a Mat V in a Striker. A little bit more kind of protection because there's less windows on a Striker. But there's more wheels. I don't know. Striker's still a really good vehicle. The thing about Strikers is they are kind of top heavy-ish. So some of the Strikers, like here in Fort Carson, when they're doing stuff with the train, they have to be very careful not to, you know, flip them over. I don't think there's anything like too super dangerous, but like you can't do any crazy maneuvering with them because they are, I think, a little bit top heavy. I don't think anything super crazy, but you still have to be, it's still something that you have to be cautious of. But also the thing that sucks too is it like tears up the ground pretty good because of the way they maneuver. So some people don't like that because there's some areas on Fort Carson that are like protected and they don't want people jacking up the endangered plants or whatever the hell goes on out there sometimes. Paul Abrams, what's happening, man? Are you going to participate in the Baton 2020? I'm planning on it. I don't know, maybe in 2020, maybe. So depending on how the 2019, this year's one goes, maybe I'll do it again next year and add some weight because I'm just going to do the light without it. There's another road march I'm already thinking about wanting to do. I know I haven't even done this road march one, but there's one coming up in August in Denver that's 50 miles. And so I'm going to probably the guy who's doing like this Baton with me, he says he's in to probably do it, but you basically are given a map and you have to hit a bunch of checkpoints in downtown Denver area or just Denver in general. And you choose your own route, and roughly it's the shortest route or the most effective or efficient route is supposed to be at least 50 miles. So you could go over 50 miles, and that's in August. And I kind of want to do that. It sounds fun. It starts at like 9 o'clock at night, and you have to be able to complete it in 20 hours. It's a part of this whole thing, I guess, a tradition that like Roosevelt did back in the day. There was a requirement for the military, and then John F. Kennedy issued it out as a challenge. And John F. Kennedy actually even did this and was able to finish the 50 miles in 17 hours and 50 minutes, I think it was. So me and my buddy were talking about how it'd be fun to try to see if we can't beat John F. Kennedy's time if we do that 50 miler. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. I think it'd be kind of fun. So you'd basically be doing it all night. So it'd be pretty cool. I think we might try to shoot for that. I'm from Canada, and negative 40 Celsius ain't that bad. Yeah, I have a friend who lives in Canada, and she was telling me it's pretty nuts up there right now. So I'm trying to find the MRE pizza. I would love to try that thing. They're expensive though. If you're trying to buy them from sale, you gotta be careful though, because sometimes the ones that they're selling like online or in surplus stores aren't really Army MREs. They're like these ones that are made for people for like camping or hunting or fishing or whatever, for like survivalists, and they're not the real Army ones. I want to try to get my hands on the actual Army one. I'm not sure if it's actually been released. I think they've had some people trying it and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's actually in any of the MRE cases right now, or if it's just a selective thing. So I would like to try one though. I think it'd be kind of cool, and maybe do a video if I was able to get my hands on one, then do a video on it. But yes, the big thing you have to be careful of is sometimes people are selling ones that they say they're MREs, but they're not like Army military MREs. They're just like survivalist versions. Deuce and a half would be your choice, Southern Sun. The Deuce and a half is old, man. Thing's rickety. I mean, it still probably runs okay, but I don't know. You can carry a lot of equipment inside of it. JT Suit's stream is glitching now. I'm a refugee. Well, welcome back, Forged in Steel. His glitching out. See, he's got to get that high-speed internet like I get. Even sometimes mine has less. I don't think I've only had maybe a couple times where my stream was glitchy, but for the most part, my internet does pretty good. I have pretty good internet through Comcast. That's pretty fast. I think it's like 500 megabit internet. I could upgrade to the 1 gig, but I don't really need a gig. So I just go with the 500 gig or 500 megs. But I have the capability to do with my my modem and router to do 1 gig if I really wanted to, but I don't think I really need to, because upload speed is the main thing I need. And there's still max on upload speed is, I think, 20 megabytes, I think it is, which is what I have. And so even if I switch to the 1 gig one, I don't increase my speed in upload, which is what I need for these live streams. So kind of like Urban Land Nav course then, Paul? Yes, it is, basically. So they give you a map, they tell you where to go. You don't have to use a compass and a protractor and all that kind of stuff and plot out your paces and stuff. But yeah, it's like Urban Land Nav, and I liked Land Nav. I was always a fan of Land Nav, so I think that's partially why it also sounds interesting to me. Plus the challenge of 50 miles just sounds crazy. It'd be all night, so I'd have to like probably do something like take Friday off, sleep for most of the day, and then get some good rest. That way we'd be able to go from 9 o'clock at night, because even if we're fast, I think we're still have to finish like sometime in the afternoon the next day, even if you're finishing pretty quick, So I mean, it's still a long amount of time. So I have a lot of 88 mic. I have a lot of 88 mic, and they finished AIT. Most of them went to South Korea, and they said it's cool over there. I liked Korea. Korea was fun. I was stationed at the Joint Security Area, right on the border, right at the DMZ. So I didn't have quite as much freedom as a lot of people that were like Southern in South, like a more South Korea area, not so much right on the border. But I still, got like pretty much like a 4-day weekends, once a month that I could go and roam around town and check stuff out. And those times were awesome. Were fun. So Korea is a lot of fun. I had fun in Korea. I'm a junior in high school and got a 73 on the ASVAB. How do you feel? I feel great. What are you asking? What do you like? What I feel about the score you got? The 73? I don't really know the breakdowns of them too well, so I don't really remember if a 73 is good or not. I don't know. Is that great? It might be good. Can you talk about the MOS of 14 Tango? Just want some insight. I leave for basic February 5th. I don't even know what a 14 Tango is. What is a 14 Tango MOS? Oh, yeah. Patriot Launching Station. Yeah, I don't know anything about that one. Can't help you, other than if I just Googled some stuff. I don't know. I don't think I've ever known anybody that was a 14 Tango, so I don't have any information on it. Sorry. Hey Chris, do you have any information on 25 Bravo? Let's see. We got another person ask about MOSs. Let's see, a 25 Bravo MOS is another one that I don't know. Information technology specialist. Nope. I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. Sorry. I don't know every MOS. I know a lot because I've worked with a lot, but not everyone. Some of these are kind of more obscure kind of MOSs that I've never actually dealt with when I was in the Army. So. Let's see, how likely am I to deploy as a 68 whiskey? So it goes back to the statement I've used several times, like I even have a video on it. It really doesn't matter what your MOS is. It doesn't matter if you are a 68 whiskey, a combat medic, if you are a cook, if you are a finance person, if you are an 11 Bravo. it does not matter based on your MOS. Your MOS will determine how dangerous of a job you have while you're deployed, but it will not make a determination of how often you'll deploy, or if you'll deploy, or if you won't deploy, because what it comes down to is the unit that you're in. If that unit that you're in, you could be in, let's give an example of my last unit, 410 Cav. 410 Cav has cooks in there, they have finance people, they have mechanics, they have scouts, they have all sorts of different MOSs in 410 Cav. And if 410 Cav comes up on orders to deploy to a combat zone or wherever, everybody in 410 Cav is going with them. Some of those people will have a more dangerous job than others, but they will all deploy. So it does not matter what your MOS is, it matters what unit you're in and when that unit comes up on orders. If you're like someone who is like hoping not to deploy, then you'd want to be like in a training brigade or something like that. Someone like a unit that works with like basic training or AIT or some kind of schools, TRADOC, I think they're called. If you're in one of those units, then you probably don't have to worry about deploying at all. But if you are in a regular Army unit, there's always the chance of deploying. It just is based on if that unit gets orders to deploy. Army anime? I don't know. How the heck are you talking about Army anime? Someone's saying, imagine a U.S. Army. Is that what you're saying? That'd be weird. Was there any good part about MEPS? Free lunch, I think. I think you get free lunch. Otherwise, it's pretty boring. You're just going through a bunch of medical screenings. For the most part, doing a couple of little tests and sitting around waiting for a long time. A lot of different stations, because you go from one station to another station to another station, and sometimes you're sitting there waiting for a little while, and then eventually, once you're all done, you're talking to somebody about what your options are. But probably the best part is maybe a free lunch. Maybe. I don't even know if they still do that. And it might just depend on your MEP station. If they even give you a free lunch, you might have to pay for your own lunch. I don't know. I'm 18 and out of shape beyond compare, and I'm planning on being an 11 Bravo. I'm going to give myself about 5 months to get in shape, and your videos are really helping me get ready. Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the process of getting into better shape because, for one, for the Bataan Memorial Death March that I'm doing, I want to be able to be in good enough shape to be able to complete the whole thing. But two, I just want to be in better shape. So that's my motivation. You can have your motivation. If your motivation is to join the Army, then you really got to push yourself and make sure that, you're being disciplined and actually working out and not being lazy and, doing what you got to do to either get into the shape that you want to get in, lose the weight you want to lose, whatever the case is for everybody. Then you just got to be motivated about it. So I feel pretty motivated about mine because I like road marching and I want to be able to complete this 26 miles, but I know that I'm not in great shape. So I want to make sure that I'm in good shape to be able to do so and not fail it. So that's my motivation. You just got to have your own motivation for doing whatever it is you want to do. Hey Chris, what about Army pinks and greens and then switch from M4 to the new rifle? I like the pinks and greens. Pinks and greens look pretty cool. I still haven't seen. Somebody was talking about the new M4, what they would switch to from the M4 to the new rifle before, but I don't think I really looked up the information about it, so I don't know enough about it. But I like the pinks and greens, and the idea behind it makes it a little bit of a hassle when you're going to work, because if you're someone who's not going to be in the motor pool or whatever, maybe you have classes that day or you have to work in the office or whatever, then it just means it takes a little extra effort to get ready, because you have to put a little bit more time and effort into that uniform compared to just putting on the combat uniform and throwing on the boots. But the idea behind it is just to make soldiers look more professional. If you don't need to be in the combat uniform, then you're in the pinks and greens. So it seems cool. Is it a hassle? A little bit, but if the goal is to make them look more professional, then I think that will definitely accomplish that. But it's still going to be a while out, because they're talking about how, what was it, 2028, 2029 or something like that. They might not even be available for ordering or something like that. So it's probably still going to be a while before they even switch to that idea. So we'll see, unless they are able to expedite that. What's the most combat MOSs you can easily join? I don't know. I don't know about easily join, because, I mean, sometimes some of the scores to some people might not be easy. So I don't know. It's hard to say easily. Nothing's really easy, I guess you could say. What's the most common spot to get deployed into if you become an 11 Bravo? Again, doesn't matter what MOS you are, but most common spot for anybody to get deployed. Well, right now there's a lot of deployments that aren't to combat environments because there's not a whole lot of combat stuff going on. So people are getting deployed to like Poland, Germany. Some people are getting deployed to Korea, but those are like, they're not combat deployments. They're just deployments with your unit. So your whole entire unit is going there for 6 months or to a year, whatever, to do training. If you're going to a combat one, it's Afghanistan, but there's kind of pulling away from that and all that kind of stuff. So Syria is not even that big of one, really. There's not a whole. There's only certain people that are going to Syria. I swear I'm going to laugh if we go back to the old M1 rifle. I don't think they're going to go back to the M1. Or is that what they're talking about doing? Was going back to the M1? It'd be horrible. Last question. Do you know anything about 88 Tango? I don't. Let's see. Let's see what an 88 Tango is, though. 88 Tango MOS. Railway section repairer. I'd imagine that would be a difficult job to get because a lot of the railway stuff that the Army uses is civilian run and civilian contracted. So there's going to be a real limited probably amount of space and units probably for an 88 Tango to go to unless they just redesignate them to do other transportation related jobs when they get to their units. But I would imagine that would be a difficult MOS to get into based on availability because there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of need for that MOS because I think a lot of that job is a lot of times done by contractors. So what's your favorite pair of running shoes? I don't know if I have like a favorite brand or anything like that. I usually go with Under Armour. A lot of stuff on Under Armour because I just like their brand and they make good quality stuff most of the time. But for the most part, when I would always pick out a running shoe, I mostly would usually go off of the comfort of them. I try on different ones and price too. Sometimes, figure out a good price one, but then also trying to see how comfortable it is. This is something I feel like I'd be comfortable running in them. But I mean, Under Armour, I've usually gone with a lot of times, but there's probably a lot of other good shoes that would still be great. It's just based on comfort, I think. So. Paratroopers I've talked to say that after getting out, they start having knee problems from all the jumps they do. That is true. I know quite a few people, and they have knee problems. So that is a true thing. It seems like a very common thing between people who are airborne and in airborne units doing jumps often. Wait, so you can get deployed anywhere in Europe? I don't want to say anywhere, but there are a lot of places that people are getting deployed to that are not combat deployments. They're like training deployments. And so units are going there and getting deployed to different areas in Europe area for like 6 months or so to do training and then coming back. Regional manager needs to talk to me about my sales team. Well, have a good one, Southern Sun. Take care. We'll see you next time. Let's see. I was going to ask some questions, but I feel kind of weird because my questions aren't Army/military based. That's okay. And they don't all have to be military. I mean, I don't mind asking other questions. What was it? Walter earlier asked me what he should have for dinner, if chicken fried steak or catfish. So it doesn't have to always be, military related questions. I'm fine with sometimes, not politics though. I hate politics. I am not a fan of politics. So just don't ask me political questions. I don't pay attention to politics, and I'm not a fan of politics, so I wouldn't be a very good person to talk about politics. So, thank you, brother. Appreciate your time and knowledge. Brother. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for hanging out and asking questions and all that kind of fun stuff. What was something funny or memorable that happened in basic training? Something funny or memorable. Okay, well, you might have. Some of you probably heard this story because I think I talked about it before. I thought it was pretty fun. There was a pretty funny thing where drill sergeants love it if you leave your lockers unlocked because that means they get a jack with you and get a mess with you. You will really want to make sure that you're locking up your wall lockers when you're done getting stuff out of them and going to training or whatever. If you leave your wall locker unlocked, they will probably jack your stuff up. There's 2 stories related to that I can think of that are pretty hilarious that happened when I was in basic training. One being we came back from basic training, or we came back from doing a training exercise or doing some training. And as we're walking back, marching back towards the barracks area, we see all this stuff flying out of the window. And a couple of us are like, oh man, that sucks. And then one of the guys, like, I think he was right next to me, was like, oh man, I think that's my stuff. And then sure enough, it was his stuff. He forgot to lock his wall locker. The second funny story that I can think of along kind of on the same lines, there was the guy who was next to me in the barracks, because there was a bunch of rows of beds with wall lockers. And the guy who was next to me, he had snuck some like saltine crackers out of the chow hall and put them in his wall locker so he could snack on them at night or whatever, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to sneak any food out of the chow hall. And he had these crackers stuffed away into his wall locker, and he forgot to lock his wall locker. So we came back from training, and he was like, I remember while we were at training, he was talking about, he's like, oh man, I don't remember if I locked my wall locker. And so he was like worried that his stuff was going to be all over the place or something really messed up. So we came back to the barracks, and his wall locker was locked. And he's like, oh, good. I think I did lock it. He didn't lock it. The drill sergeants relocked it. Because then that night, when he went to get to bed, he pulled the blankets over, and all those crackers that he had in that wall locker had been crushed into his bed. So he had crumbs all over inside of his bed from those crackers. So the drill sergeants crushed up all those crackers into his bed and then relocked his wall locker so he wouldn't suspect anything until he went to bed. Those are my two funny stories that I always usually stand out from when I was in basic training that I think was pretty funny. Awesome. So from what I understand, you listen to metal. I do listen to metal. I like Parkway Drive. I like In This Moment. Metallica is always my favorite kind of band. I'm wearing a Metallica shirt right now. You can't right there. It's an old school Metallica shirt too. But as far as music I mostly listen to, it's like Parkway Drive, A Day to Remember, Motionless in White, Miss May I. Really, really heavy metal. I don't really like death metal, but the heavy metal stuff, I really like that kind of stuff. But I still like some of the older school stuff, like Metallica, Motley Crue is cool. I'm a music fan for the most part, mainly music that involves instruments for the most part. But yeah. Let's see. Someone's trying to pull a fast one, trying to ask political questions. I'm not going to answer your political questions. Was it Krusty Belly Button 24? Why do you have a 24 after Krusty Belly Button? Anyways. Are key locks allowed instead of combination? I know that it was always a requirement to have a combination lock because they don't want to take the chance of you losing the key, but I believe now, actually I think they do now allow you to have keys. But like the thing they do is like you have I think you put it like on your dog tags or something like that. You have to keep the key on your dog tags, and then you have to give an extra key to the drill sergeant. That way, in case you do lose the key, then the drill sergeant has the spare key to be able to give you to be able to get into your wall locker. But I don't know. I think that's a new thing. But I know like when I went to basic training, it was a requirement that it had to be a combination lock. So I hate combination locks though. They suck. It's always a pain, you know. You turn left, turn to the right, turn to the left. It's a pain. I like those ones that are combinations, but they are just the dials, you know, so it's a little bit easier. It's not like the spin dial ones. I hate the spin dial ones. That's what I had at basic training. It's horrible. Hey, I'm in NRJOTC, and if I wanted to join the Army, would there be a benefit even if it's Navy ROTC or Air Force ROTC? Yeah, you still would. I mean, they still have the benefit regardless of which one you do, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I believe I've heard that it doesn't matter too much. But the max, like even if you do all 4 years, the max they could bring you into the Army at is an E3. But that may not be always something you're going to get. You're not always going to get the max. So sometimes because you have 4 years of, say, JROTC, they can, at the max, put you in as E3, but they might not put you in as an E3 because of whatever reasons, whatever, they might put you in as E2. So it kind of varies. But the max they can put you in to be an E3. But I think it works for all the way across the board, though. Who has the most memorable song? AC/DC or CCR? In my opinion, most memorable songs probably AC/DC though. I mean, Creedence has got a lot of good ones because of mainly like always when I think of like CCR, I always think of like those old Vietnam movies that had a lot of those kind of songs in it. I think like Saving Private Ryan might no, I don't think it's not Saving Private Ryan because that was World War One. But I want to say Forrest Gump had some in it, and a few other ones I remember always had like CCR songs in it, and I always think of like that kind of stuff. But I feel like AC/DC songs are probably a little bit more memorable, and more people would know those ones. Hey Chris, how's it going? Sorry I'm late. What's up, Jay the Vorn? Thank you so much for the package you sent me. You're awesome. I will say, a little sketchy on the packaging though. You probably could have put like maybe some newspaper in there to keep like Rockstar cans from rolling around, because I feel like it was super dangerous. I'm surprised that it made it there safe and sound and it didn't explode from it, like those cans rolling back and forth, because as soon as I pulled that box out of the P.O. box, they were rolling around, and I had a good feeling that they were probably Rockstars based on the sound. So but they weren't like, packaged with anything around them to keep them from rolling around. So I'm really surprised that they didn't like get shaken up so bad that they exploded. But they made it safely. So thank you so much. I even have your awesome birthday card that you sent me sitting right here on my desk. Whoa, as I hit the mic with it. But bam, this was sent to me from Jay the Vorn, along with 3 rock stars. You're awesome, man. And you should have maybe received a sticker here real soon, because I sent off a sticker to you. Maybe it should be there any day now, kind of a thing. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, a little sketchy on the packaging though, I will say. Hey Chris, I took your advice for MEPS and it went very smoothly. I'm heading back up on Tuesday to finalize my paperwork, pick my MOS, and do my first unofficial swearing. Yeah, it's kind of weird. You do like this unofficial one, and then the real official one is the one that when you go back to MEPS to get on the bus to go to basic training, or to take you to the airport to go to basic training, whatever kind of a thing. But yeah, you do this weird, stupid, unofficial one, and then you do an official one where you're actually off to basic training. But yeah, thank you, and I'm glad everything worked out. I'm glad everything's working out for you. Hopefully everything goes well when you go back to finalize your paperwork and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully you get a good MOS too. Sometimes you may qualify for the MOS that you want, but there might not be a school available, and like maybe in the time frame, and so that kind of screws some stuff up, and you sometimes have to wait, or you have to try some other things to do some stuff. But awesome, thank you. Super chat, we got was it massive with a $1.99 donation. Thank you very much. Keep the vids coming. I'm leaving for basic training June 17th. Well, good luck to you. Let's see, in June. So I've already done the Baton Death March, so you still be around for the results of that. So, but yeah, good luck to you. Thanks for the donation. Hopefully all goes well. Yeah, Saving Private Ryan was World War II. Yeah, World War I, World War II, it's all the same. It's, yes. I don't remember. What about Jimi Hendrix? Jimi Hendrix is awesome. I like Jimi Hendrix stuff. I have some good questions for tonight, by the way. Some good questions. Wait, there was I forgot this other Jay the Foreign question. What do you have? Pop quiz. Do you still remember your general orders? I don't. I talked about them on a video, and I was trying to remember some of them. There's I will never quit my post. I always remember that one. I will never leave my post until properly relieved. But how does I can't remember how it all goes. I will perform all my duties in a military manner, but that's still not all the wording. That's missing some words in there. So there was, I'll never leave my post until properly relieved, but there's more to the wording. There's, I will perform all my duties in a military manner. I don't remember. I think the duty, I never leave my post is number 2, and the military manner is number 1, or is it 3? I don't know. I think that's only 2 I remember though. Where can we get Chaos merch? Well, you can visit ChristopherChaos.com/store, or just go to ChristopherChaos.com. There's a link to the store. So, in fact, what's today? Today was the last day for there was a discount. If you go back, if you hurry up before today ends, if you really wanted to get merch, there's a discount on my in the community tab on my page for I think 40% off. I think it was. So check that out. If not, there will probably be still more deals. Like probably in February, I'll probably do some more deals and different stuff. But yeah, ChristopherChaos.com. You can check that stuff out. Different Chaos shirts. I just really have shirts. There's a couple of knickknack stuff, but the majority of things are just basically shirts. Secret clearance. What happens if your MOS requires one and you don't get one? I don't know. So they're going to do that. If it requires one, they're going to have to do it while you're in AIT. So if you don't qualify for a secret clearance, which is bad, whether it's because of financial debt or whatever, then they're probably going to reclass you. They're probably going to stick you in the needs of the Army and stick you in a different MOS. So that would probably suck. So make sure that before you decide to pick an MOS with secret clearance, you don't have a crap ton of debt piled on, that you could be susceptible to bribes. You don't have a criminal background or criminal record. There's a couple other factors that kind of usually factor in of people not getting security clearances. But yeah, you'd probably get reclassed. I have a question about basic training. If someone reached limits and they can't go no more, what would happen? Well, in basic training, it can be difficult, but it shouldn't be that difficult to where you reach your limit and you can't go any farther. If that's the case, then you either have some kind of injury or you're in really bad shape or whatever the case is. So that would be kind of a fairly unlikely situation, but same kind of things would apply to someone like if you're not able to pass the physical fitness test, you're probably going to get recycled to have to repeat parts of basic training, or if not all of basic training, to get a couple more opportunities, 1 or 2 more opportunities to pass the PT test, and if you can't, you're going to get kicked out. Isn't your last name really Chaos? It is not. That'd be pretty cool though, but it is not my real last name. No. I used to live near White Sands. Well, that's awesome, Walter. I'll be there. That's where I'll be for the baton. Sorry about the packaging. The post office was going to make me go to the back of the line if I wanted to add padding, so I just sealed it up and crossed my fingers. Well, it made it. It did make it. So you lucked out. I was surprised that it didn't explode in the box. And I got your sticker. Thank you. Very nicely designed and made. Well, thank you, Jay the Born. Thank you for the rock stars. Enjoy the sticker. If you do anything awesome with this sticker, make sure to tag me on social media or something. Let me know. Is it hard to obtain a secret clearance for a 25 series MOS that you know of? Well, if your MOS requires it, it doesn't, like your MOS doesn't necessarily make it hard for a clearance. It's your background that can make it hard for a clearance based on like what your background is. So it's a pain. It's a pain in the ass to get the damn security clearances. But all right, we'll do a couple more questions and I'm gonna cut this off because it's 9:36 here. I get to bed here in a little while and back to work tomorrow, finish off Friday. But I will do probably a Friday gaming video, possibly, most likely. We'll see. But we'll do a few more questions and we'll cut this off. If you still want more, then just make sure either Saturday or Sunday I'll do an actual Chaos Live and we'll do another live stream. We'll do some more Q&As and stuff. During the gaming one, it's really hard for me to answer questions. Sometimes I can try to answer some questions. For the most part, I'm trying to concentrate on not dying or playing the game, whatever I'm doing. So, I'm over the max weight for the Army. Should I talk to a recruiter after I lose weight? You can, if you have questions, you can always talk to a recruiter now and tell them, hey, you're working towards this goal, but you have to lose some weight or whatever, and you can still kind of get an idea of stuff. Obviously, he won't be able to do anything for you until you meet the weight requirements, but it won't hurt anything if you want to like ask questions and try to talk about it, ask about, things that you're looking to do or whatever. So, Chris, what is your favorite pizza brand and or topping? Pepperoni, like extra pepperoni. Brand? I used to really like Old Chicago, but I don't know, something lately about Old Chicago, at least the restaurant that we usually go to, I feel like it's been like super greasy and making my stomach feel a little upset. So Old Chicago's kind of fallen off on my favorite, but they were my favorite. So now I have to probably go with, I guess Domino's. Nothing too crazy. Domino's is pretty good still. So I don't know, but I really liked Old Chicago. I don't know what they did at this restaurant or if it's nationwide or whatever, but they got really greasy and it started making it taste weird. So I don't know what the deal is. Do I know anything about 12 Bravo? I have a MOS Monday on 12 Bravo, and that was pretty much the most of what I know is in that video. But yeah, they blow stuff up, like Calvin says. Idea for 2-minute video on security clearance levels. There's really only 3. There's kind of this confidential one, which isn't really a security clearance, but pretty much everybody in the military has that kind of level of a confidential. Then you have a secret, and then you have a top secret. I don't think, and then I think there's like some identifiers that go along with the top secret to kind of increase the level of the top secret. But yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I can always make a note of it. Maybe I'll do a poll on it next time. We'll do a poll about secret clearances and see how that does. Kind of speaking of polls, right? I did that poll about doing the not so 2 Minute Tuesday videos, right? With 2 Minute Tuesday, and some people said sure, go for it and try it, but the results of Not So 2 Minute Tuesday have not been that great. There's only maybe like 5% of people that watch 2 Minute Tuesday click on the link to go watch Not So 2 Minute Tuesday. So I don't believe I'll be continuing to do the extra Not So 2 Minute Tuesday video of the longer in-depth one, mainly because it does take a little extra time to have to shoot the video. It's fairly easy to edit, but it still has processing time and time to upload it to the internet and everything, but the demand for it is very low, so I really don't think it's really worth it. I mean, on average, 2 Minute Tuesday videos are getting around 1,000, 2,000 views, where Not So 2 Minute Tuesday videos we're maxing out at about 200 to 300 views. That's not a lot compared to what 2 Minute Tuesday videos are doing. So I probably will not be continuing to do the Not So 2 Minute Tuesday videos that I had. Domino's sucks. Go to Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's pretty good, but sometimes Pizza Hut I feel like is really greasy. So it's kind of hit or miss sometimes. I've never had Whataburger though. We'll do a couple more questions. So we'll do two more questions. Yeah, everything above top secret isn't really named. It's compartmentalized stuff. Yeah, I mean, they had like the little identifiers and all the stuff past TS. Like you get a TS with a such and such identifier and all that kind of stuff. So what's my favorite game? I don't know. Maybe No Man's Sky. I like No Man's Sky. It's kind of fun. So I play that occasionally. So No Man's Sky. One more question. I'm not going to have a good answer for, do 13 Bravos do their job while deployed, or are they just used as infantry? 13 Bravo? I don't know what 13 Bravo is. 13 Bravo? A cannon crew member? No, they'd be doing their job. Yeah, so they'd still be doing their job. I won't count that as the last question. One more. Let's see. We'll do this one. Let's see. Can any MOS get airborne, and what does that mean for the MOS? Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much any MOS can go airborne. I don't think there's a restriction on MOS. Sometimes there are certain MOSs that get priority to be able to go to airborne school, and then everybody else will have to just go based on open slots, if there is open slots. And then as far as what it does to the MOS, not a whole lot unless you're in an airborne unit. So, I mean, it does leave you open to be eligible to be in an airborne unit. But otherwise, if you're just in a regular unit, you just get the cool, airborne wings on your uniform and are airborne qualified. But if you are airborne and go to an airborne unit, then you're going to be doing a lot of airborne. You're not really doing airborne missions, because especially like if you're airborne and you're just a cook, right? You're not going to be doing, dropping in with your food to deliver food. You're going to do some training airborne missions to stay active and stuff like that, but you're still doing your regular job. So yeah. And then Jay the Vorn was it, you going to stream on Sunday during the Super Bowl? Yeah, I forgot that Sunday is the Super Bowl. So that means that most likely the live stream will be on Saturday then, because I won't try to compete with the Super Bowl. I'll probably even watch the Super Bowl anyways. I mean, I'm not a big Super Bowl fan or a big football fan. I'm sure a lot of you are probably going to be watching the Super Bowl possibly. So I'm not going to try to compete with the Super Bowl. I don't feel like that'll go very well in some cases. So I will most likely then be streaming Saturday night then, I think, for Chaos Live, or Saturday. No, it probably won't be Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon, I'll probably be doing my 10-mile road march workout, but probably Saturday evening then. Yeah, so Saturday evening we'll probably do Chaos Live. And then as far as Super Bowl predictions, I don't follow football too well, but I'm going to root for the Rams to win since they're California and I'm from California. So I'm going to root for the Rams to win it. So yeah, there you go. That's my prediction for the Super Bowl. Whether it makes it or not, I don't know. I don't know if the Rams will win or not, but that's my prediction. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's just a random live stream because I didn't do a Thursday video because I was super busy over the weekend. A little bit of laziness in there too, but we won't make excuses. So I figured I'd jump on here, do a little fun, little random live stream. We'll still probably tomorrow night, possibly, most likely, do a gaming live stream Friday evening. So if you're interested in gaming and you want to come back for that, cool. I'm not super good at the games, but they're fun to kind of sometimes hang out for. I can't answer a lot of questions during that, but if you're still interested in hanging out, I would love to have you come hang out. And then Saturday night, we'll do actual Chaos Live. So maybe if I didn't get your question here or whatever the case might be, come back Saturday night. We'll do another live stream to answer some questions. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out for this random live stream. See you guys tomorrow. Possibly. All right. All right. You guys have a good one. See ya.